What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown video for UFC Vegas 26. As you can tell, I don't have my usual equipment, but the video must go on. As always, going to be talking about the 10 fights we have in this card from a betting perspective and a strictly a betting perspective only. If you do want a further in-depth breakdown, I did post a full card breakdown and prediction video on Thursday and then a live stream on Friday. But yeah, have 5 bets for this card. Probably will just be these 5 bets, but if I do add another bet, you can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers, where I will be posting my bets on Saturday. So, with that said, if you guys can leave a like on the video, one small like goes a long way. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed already so you don't miss out on my other content. That'd be sweet, going live 1 hour prior to the fights start. So 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, let's get into it here. So, we have the first fight of the night, Carlston Harris going against Christian Aguilera, and this is going to be my first bet of the night. I have Carlston Harris minus 141, 1.5 units on it. We have seen money come in on him throughout the week. Kind of expected a little bit more money to come in on him. I see him at minus 160, minus 170, but I think it's a great matchup for him if he does come out there and implement the correct game plan, which you take a look at his fights, and he does, fight to his game plan, fights to his strengths, goes out there. He's really takedown heavy. Once he does get on top, he's very top heavy as well. Great control and some nice submissions also. And then you have Christian Aguilera, who is very, very dangerous, has finished a majority of his wins. Harris has been knocked out in the first round before, but outside of like a first round knockout, I think that this is a really good fight for Harris, as I do think he can get takedowns, get some top control, and possibly get a finish as well. Aguilera has been knocked out 4 times, has been submitted once as well. This is a guy that's getting dropped in pretty much every single fight I watched. So I think Harris can have success on the feet. I think he can have success on the mat. And also what I like about Harris is that gas tank. The guy has a crazy pace and a crazy gas tank to go along with it. He can go a full 3 rounds, no problem. So took the shot on Harris. I know it's a little concerning. UFC newcomer, but he has fought some good competition outside of the UFC. Fought just a 17-1 guy. I think in his last fight, he beat Michel Ferreira. He beat Wellington Turman, some guys in the UFC. So, 33 years old. Another red flag, but I do think this guy is hungry. I think he's ready. He looked great at the weigh-ins. I do think he can get this win. Outside of him getting clipped in the first minute and a half, 2 minutes of the fight. So give me Carlston Harris for the first bet of the night. Tafon Chuku going against Jung Young Park. Nothing really sticks out. I guess Park by decision, if anything. Going to stay away from this fight. I mean, I think it's a really well-matched, close fight. It's going to be the toughest fight of Chukwu's career. I'm going to slightly lean with Park. I really like, Park's jab. I like how accurate he is. I like the volume of Park as well. And I also do like how he does mix in the takedowns. Chukwu, very good takedown defense. Looks like he's very hard to hold down. Pickett was able to take him down. But what I don't like about Chukwu is the striking defense. He doesn't move his head. The striking defense is a little bit suspect. He is kind of hittable. And we saw when Pickett let his hands go, he was landing on Chukwu. But Pickett barely threw anything in that fight. I think he threw 80 strikes. We're going to expect Park to throw a ton more here. Excuse me, a ton more here. So I'm going to take Park to win a close decision. If I was to bet anything on this fight, which I'm not, plus 245, Park by decision, but this is going to be a pass for me. Ludwig Klein going against Mike Trizano. I like Klein here. I think Klein is, very, very good. 94% finish rate. You go in and watch the tape on this guy, and you see head kick after head kick after head kick. He's a finisher. And we see Trizano, who has not fought in nearly 2 years, never been knocked out, tough guy, but I do think Klein is live for a knockout here. It's just the bookies are all over it. Plus 135 for Klein by knockout. I don't love it. Even Klein as a parlay piece, I do think the line's a little bit too wide, but still, I do think this guy's the real deal. No play here for me. I'm not doing a parlay on this card, but if I was to do a parlay, Klein would probably be in that, but I'm just going to pass on this fight as well. Next, we have Kyle Dawkins going against Phil Hawes, and I do have 2 bets on this fight. The biggest one being the fight doesn't go to decision. I got it earlier in the week at minus 160. I have 2 units on it, and we've seen money fly in on this prop all week. It's now minus 220, minus 230, so people are definitely seeing what I'm seeing. And yeah, I really do expect this fight to finish. Hawes early is a real possibility. Dawkins late is a real possibility. Hawes in the first 5 minutes is extremely, extremely dangerous. And that's why I also added 0.25 units on Hawes wins by TKO in round 1, plus 600. I thought that line was very off considering that is probably the way that Hawes wins, is that first round knockout. But is Dawkins live? Absolutely. All he has to do is survive that first round. I do think he can take over and get the submission. But ultimately, what I do want is the fight to finish, and I think he has a great chance to do so. As far as a pick goes, I'll take Phil Hawes as a pick. I know it's hard to pick somebody that is first round or bust, but Kyle Dawkins with 3 fights so far, 42% striking defense, very hittable. You do not want to be hittable against Phil Hawes. So I'm going to take Phil Hawes to get that early knockout. But ultimately, I do want the fight to finish one way or another. I don't really care who wins. But that first round knockout probably be very nice, plus 600. Amanda Ribas, Angela Hill. I like Ribas here to mix in the takedowns. If Ribas wants to test her striking, kind of like how she did in the Rodriguez fight, she's probably going to lose, but I do expect her to go back to the takedown game. I remember an interview with Ribas in her last fight against Rodriguez saying that it's a good fight to test her striking. It was not a good fight to test her striking, and she should probably go for takedowns here as well. And honestly, I think it's only going to take one takedown to either ride out the round or find a submission. Ribas by submission is plus 350. It's actually not horrible. So if I was to bet anything on this fight, it might be that Ribas by submission, but I'm just going to pass. Minus 185 on the money line. I don't hate it, but really want nothing to do with this fight, to be honest. So I'm going to take Ribas. I'm going to pick her to win, maybe by submission. The prop plus 350 is not a bad look, but I'm going to pass here. Gregor Gillespie going against Diego Ferreira. I have a 2-unit bet on Gregor Gillespie, minus 177, and we have seen money come in on Diego Ferreira. Gillespie is now like minus 150, minus 155, and typically I'm pretty good at gauging the line movement and where it's going to go, but this one has me kind of confused here, especially after Ferreira missed weight by a good 4.5 pounds, and he looked pretty bad on the scales as well, so a ton of money's come in on him since then, so it really is confusing me here. Because he did look a little bit compromised at the weigh-ins. He didn't look great. So, but yeah, I like Gregor in this fight. Of course, there are some concerns going against a third-degree black belt and Ferreira in a fight that Gillespie's probably going to be taking him down. But I do think he does take him down. We saw Dariush take him down 5 times in his last fight. Gregor Gillespie is somebody that averages 7 takedowns per 15 minutes. He just has to mind his P's and Q's when on top of Ferreira. I think the striking could be close. I don't even know what's going to happen in the striking. Like we see Gillespie go for takedowns so often, we don't know, how good his striking really is. But I do expect him to go for takedowns early and often, get on top, kind of ride out the rounds, and win a decision. Gillespie by decision earlier in the week was plus 150. Now it's plus 120. I don't like that, but I do like the minus 150 money line of Gillespie. But yeah, I got him at minus 177. So hopefully that hits. But a ton of money's coming on Ferreira recently, which is weird, especially after seeing the weigh-in. So, but I will take Gregor Gillespie to win by decision. Marcos Rogerio de Lima going against Maurice Green. I have a bet on this fight. I have Marcos Rogerio de Lima wins by TKO in round 1, plus 440. I thought that line was so off. I mean, that is literally how he wins the fight. I have 0.75 units on it, and I think that is very, very live, as Maurice Green has been knocked out 2 or 3 times. He's been knocked down quite a few times as well. He has that tall man's defense, chin up in the air. And I just don't think he's UFC caliber, to be honest. And De Lima, maybe he's not as well, but what he is very dangerous. He's only dangerous for about 2 to 3 minutes, but that's probably all you need here. Nasty leg kicks, tons of power. And I do think he can land that first round knockout shot. It's just, if this fight does get extended, he's in big trouble. The guy does not have great cardio. So I am banking on him getting that early finish in the first couple minutes, but if not, Green probably gets it done, maybe by submission. And I'm kind of hesitant about that because the thing about Green is you look through his career, the guy has 0 takedowns in the UFC, but what's even more concerning is the guy has averaged, or the guy's attempted 0 takedowns in the UFC. So how you usually beat De Lima is you take him down. The guy's like a 50% takedown defense, but we see Green not attempt any takedowns in the UFC, which is a huge red flag because standing, I think he is in big, big trouble, and I do think that first round knockout's live. So give me De Lima, first round knockout, 0.75 units on it. If that hits, it's going to be a good night, regardless of what happens on the rest of the card. That would be nice, but hopefully he gets it done there. Jeff Neal, Neil Magny. No bet here for me. I like Neal. You see him at minus 190, minus 200, some money coming in on Jeff Neal. I just think, he's going to land the harder shots. I think there's potential for him to get, a knockdown, maybe a knockout. Neil Magny only finished twice in his career, but he has been knocked down a ton. I don't see Magny being able to take down Neal. Neal has phenomenal takedown defense. If he does get taken down, he'll get back up right away. And on the feet, I just think that Neal's the more dangerous striker, is going to land the harder shots, and I think a finish is definitely on the table. Plus 185 for Neal to win by knockout. Not terrible, but yeah, no bet here for me. I know a lot of people taking the shot on Magny, but I'm personally going to be on the Neal side, probably by knockout, but no bet. Donald Cerrone going against Alex Morono. We have Cerrone opened up minus 155, currently minus 185, so some money's been flowing in on him. And even where the line opened up, I wasn't too tempted to bet Cerrone. The guy's like 38 years old, 39 years old. He's taken a ton of damage, 9 knockout losses. Would I be shocked if Morono came out here and knocked him out in the first 30 seconds a minute? Maybe a little bit, but I do think Cerrone does win this fight. I think he's better pretty much everywhere, and I think an interesting aspect of this fight is going to be the takedowns of Cerrone. Mix those in. Morono has like a 47% takedown defense. I think Cerrone has a huge advantage on the mat, on top. So I think, even on the striking he has an advantage, but take this fight down to the mat. I think it's a pretty easy win. Possible finish for Cerrone as well. But where it's at now, minus 190, I'm just not going to bet that. Even any props, maybe Cowboy by submission plus 610 is something to look at, I guess. Cowboy by KO plus 440. Those are pretty juicy props, but I'm just going to sit back and watch this fight, but I'm going to be picking Donald Cerrone. Marina Rodriguez going against Michelle Waterson. I like Rodriguez here. I just have concerns about the takedown defense. You see her get taken down. It's just so frustrating to watch, especially when you have money on her. She doesn't try to work her way back up. She's content to be on her back, but she is active off her back. I'll give her that. But it's just hard to watch when you have money on Rodriguez here. I remember I bet her against Esparza, and she was taken down. She did not try to get up. She almost won the fight from her back, but as you guys know, it's really, really hard to win a fight from your back. So those are my concerns there. But I still think she'll have a lot of success on her back if she is taken down. She's very dangerous, nice elbows, very active as well. And on the feet, I just think she has a massive advantage. Do I want to parlay Rodriguez minus 200? Honestly, not really. But I do think she wins, based off the damage, based off of landing the much harder strikes. But I just have concerns about her takedown defense and her get-up game. 59% takedown defense, and she has shown some improvements, but I'd just like to see more. But I will take her to win. Rodriguez by KO plus 340. Not terrible. Waterson has been knocked out before. Rodriguez 2 knockouts between the UFC and the Contender Series. But yeah, I'm going to take Rodriguez to win by, I'll say knockout, but I think it does decisions live as well. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I'm going to quickly go through my bets. I have 5 bets on the night. Not much action. 10 fights. There's a lot of fights that are very, very sketchy. Very, very sketchy to see the least. But I have Gregor Gillespie minus 177, 2-unit bet on that. Carlston Harris minus 141, 1.5 unit on that. Phil Hawes, Kyle Dawkins fight doesn't go to decision, minus 162 units on that. Rogerio de Lima wins by TKO round 1, 0.75 units on a plus 440. And then Phil Hawes wins by TKO round 1, plus 600, 0.25 units. So that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Tune into the live stream 1 hour prior to the fights on Saturday. And good luck on your bets for UFC Vegas 26.